He was Son of God. And he came on this earth with a very great message that you are to be resurrected. It's not only that you have to maintain yourself and you don't eat this and you don't do that and all those 10 commandments, but he came to give us a message of our rebirth. We are to be born again, not by any just ritual or some sort of a ceremony we go through, but there has to be something living that has to take place. He has always talked about living God. So something living must happen. And what happens when it is something living? When it is something living, we start finding the transformation taking place. For example, you sow a seed and the living process starts. The tree starts transforming into the root and the shoot, and then the shoot starts transforming itself into leaves and then into fruits. It's not static. Not that we take one piece from here and keep it there and it is transformed. But there is something that happens within, something very spontaneous, which brings forth this transformation, and you see it with your own eyes. And this transformation has to take place within you. Now, in a case, as I told you, of Kathy or someone like that, one can say, all right, it's you must have consoled or you give her love and this, that, and she can be consoled. But that's not the point. As I told you, there are many people who have got everything, still they are unhappy. And if you ask them, they will say, no, we don't know, we are not happy. We don't feel happy. There's no joy in our life. We have lost our heart. They can't explain, but it is there. What have they lost? The time has come for the whole world to know their spirit. This is the time which is prophesied, even by William Blake, where he describes England is the Jerusalem. The time has come for you to know your spirit. That has to happen. It's not a thing by which I tell you, you stand on your heads or hold your nose or start taking some names like one track, mind going, chanting some name like madcaps. It's not that, but something that must happen within yourself, and that must transform. Of course, one must understand if it is a living process, you cannot pay for it. How can you pay for a seed to sprout? The seed doesn't understand, the living process doesn't understand money. It's the dead work of human beings. How can you organize it also? You cannot. It's spontaneous. There is no technique. It's all built in. The technique is built in the little seed that you see. The whole technique of its growth is built in. The technique is built in and all its maps. How it is going to be, what tree it is going to be, how the tree is going to grow, in what height, in what thickness. Everything is inside that seed. In the same way, it is a spontaneous thing which has to happen within you, and if it is so, we have to find. That's how the search started. People went to India, went all over the places to find out. They thought, we cannot find the solution here, let us go. It has to be that way. Because if you grow too much outside, you have to find out your roots, because you develop that fear. You develop that fear that you may not be able to sustain this outgrowth unless and until you find out the depth or the source on which this is to be sustained. So people started searching and searching. I have met many of them, many thousands, and I find they were misled many a times. They were really misled. They were so anxious to get to it that whatever somebody said, they just accepted. Blind fool. People asked for money, all right, take money. They starved themselves, collected money, and gave this to these swindlers and these cheats and thugs. How can anybody exchange money for the spirit? It's absurd, it's illogical. But we understand money to such a great extent, I was amazed, that we think that spirit can be bought by giving some money to someone or some sort of a material thing. Logically, all these things have to be understood. Now to say that logically you cannot understand God is wrong. You can, logically, not rationally but logically. There's a difference between the two. For example, if you have not come to London, you have not seen London, I have not been to Newbury, I did not know it's a beautiful place like this, then I cannot understand. But if I have come here, then I see with my own eyes, yes, it is so. Then I have to say, yes, I have seen it. It's so, I have seen it, I have felt it. I know it is. Then it becomes, the whole thing becomes logical. But rationally, if I sit in India somewhere in the corner and think of Newbury, now I am going to Newbury, just putting my rings of imagination outside, will I come to Newbury? But if I come, this is very important to understand. If I come here, actually I come here, in person, then I know the place and I know the people of Newbury and I know it. That means it has to be an actualization. If it is not an actualization, then whatever you decide about it, this way or that way, is absolutely illogical because you have not been there. Very simple as that. Some people say we believe in God, some people say we don't believe in God. Both ways, whatever they are saying, they are doing it, I don't know how. If they believe in God, maybe it's innately built in us to believe in God. But even if they don't believe in God, it's all right because they don't understand, they have not been there. But you must keep yourself open to understand that if something has to happen to us, which is a living process, some transformation has to take place within us. It has to be an actualization, not a lecture to you or a sermon to you or some sort of a service and then you disperse. You must start feeling some transformation coming within. In the Bible itself, it is written, I will appear before you like tongues of flames. Nobody can explain what it is like. They cannot. It's written that the tree of life will be fed by the water of life. It's a prophecy. Now what is tree of life? Where is it? Where does it exist within us? Nobody has tried to find out. They say you must have faith. Yes, whatever is said is true, you must have faith. But if you have faith, after some time you will be disillusioned. That's blind, absolutely blind. Because where is that tree of life? You have not seen, felt, or it has not manifested. For this we can refer to other scriptures also, especially in India where people have been more meditative. As you have been more outward and seeking overpowering of matter, in India, people try to find out what's happening within. I mean, there are genuine people also, not all are thugs. They are not in the market. They are hiding themselves somewhere in the Himalayas and all these places. But in the 6th century only, we have the description of the tree of life. And the tree of life is shown here, as you see. Now, you are not to have blind faith in what I am saying. There's no need. But you should not also deny. You should try to understand what I am saying and see for yourself if it works out or not. If it does not work out, you give another chance to it. Because you must know that I have come here to give you something, not to take anything from you. I cannot take. That's my nature, you see. That's how God has made me. Something's funny, but I cannot take it. If I have come to give you, there's nothing selling, there's no shop. Try. If you could be open, it would help you better to understand what I'm trying to tell you. Here now, you see the tree of life. And when this tree of life is given the water of life, then what happens? How the nourishment reaches and how it starts activity. It is as simple as connecting this machine to the mains. Any machine, say a television is there, once it is connected to the mains, you can see the manifestation of the machine very clearly. And you are amazed. For a villager, if you show that, he is surprised and he cannot understand how this is happening. How all these pictures are coming, from where this music is coming, how these colors are being shown, you can't understand. In the same way, once your machine becomes connected with the divine, you start finding its manifestation. Now, in this picture, we have shown you here the subtle being that exists within us, just like the structure of a seed you can see. As in the seed, there is a primule or the germinating power. In the same way, in the triangular bone, can you show that here? Is the power which is going to give us rebirth. This is your own. This is your mother who is going to give you your rebirth. She exists in all of us. She's dormant, but she knows everything about it. She's like a tape recorder. She knows all your past, and she knows your seeking, and she knows your value. She knows your defects, and she knows what mistakes you have committed, who has troubled you and who has looted you, who has deceived you. She knows everything. But she's dormant. She lies there in a dormant state, and she's called as Kundalini in the Sanskrit language. Kundalini is the word comes from the coil, word Kundali means the coil. And she is in 3.5 coiled together, and just like they call it like a serpent, she's lying down. But you are seeing most of the energies are kept in a coil, because if any cord has to be used, we put it in a coil always. The one end has to come out, so it is kept coiled up there. Why it is 3.5 is also a big mathematics, which of course later on you can find out what is the meaning of these 3.5 coils. Just now, I will just give you a very short description, outline about this power that resides within us. It resides in the triangular bone called as sacrum. That is at the back of our bone, backbone, at the lowest point. You can see there's a triangular bone behind. Now see, this bone is called a sacrum. Sacrum means sacred bone. It has been found out that when the body of the human body burns, this bone does not burn. That's why they called it sacrum long time back. So the reason is the Kundalini is inside that bone. Now above that you find there are 6 centers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And the lowest one is below. All these centers are subtle centers which manifest outside our plexuses, the physical plexuses that we know of. These centers exist as energy pockets, and they supply the 2 lines you see, the blue and the yellow line. They try to balance and arrange the power to flow into these 2 channels. These 2 channels represent within us, on the left hand side, the one which comes as the blue line, if you see, comes actually from the right side on top and comes down from the and meets the first center there. This is the line of Ida channel, which controls our emotional life. It controls our past and is also called as moon line. It represents our desiring power, The another line you see is the yellow line, which represents our power of action, through which we act. First we desire. We want to have something and then we act. So this line represents your physical and mental being, which goes in the front side and the left side of the brain and forms the ego, which is a byproduct of our activities for our action. The first power of desire, or the emotional power, when it acts, for example, say Kathy was emotionally disturbed, this power was acting too much and was using all the power from all the body and was creating a superego there. So on the left hand side and in the front is the ego, and on the right hand side and the back is the superego, covering our limbic area, which is in the brain, about this center. This center, Agya, is the center of Christ. Christ resides there. People say Christ is within us. Where is he? Which part? Where is he placed? He is placed in the center. Now when I say that he is placed in there, we can prove it. It can be easily proved. Because when the Kundalini rises, and if she stops at that center, which you can see and feel it, that it has stopped there, you have to take the name of Christ and request him that please allow the Kundalini to pass. If he is awakened, of course that can only be done by a person who is a realized soul. Any Dick, Tom and Harry cannot do it. You cannot call Christ or anyone, because what is the right you have got? There has to be a protocol, a connection by which you can call him. Any such person, when he calls Christ, he can be awakened and the Kundalini rises from there. That's how you know this is the center of Christ. What is the mantra of this center is? Surprisingly, it is our Lord's Prayer. It's the mantra. It's not only the Lord's Prayer, it's a mantra for this center. And the weapon of Christ is forgiveness. When the Kundalini stops here, that means you think too much. Imagine all the Christians, or I can say the Christian nations, think too much. It's surprising. We should not think at all. I mean, Christ has done that for us. We are not supposed to think. But we think about everything, we plan about everything, we are mad with thinking. I mean, it goes like a mad weed. I was in Switzerland, there was a doctor who came to see me. He said, Mother, you can cut my neck or you can break my teeth, do what you like, but stop my thinking. He just could not stop thinking. What is the solution for this thinking in Sahaja Yoga is you have to forgive. You have to forgive. If you forgive, then this center can be reached. But forgiveness is just a myth, because what are you doing? If you are troubled by another person, if you do not forgive that person is successful. Because you go on worrying about it, crying about it, weeping about it, and whatever he wanted to trouble you for, you are just a complete proof of it. So forgiveness means what? What you are doing is to get rid of his power over you. And this is what Christ has said, that forgive. And the greatest thing he did on the cross was to say that forgive. Because these people really committed the real crime of crucifying the Son of God. But still he said, forgive, for they do not know what they are doing. They do not know what they are doing, that he was the Son of God. It was impossible for people to believe Son of God. Imagine, is he Son of God? What makes him that? His resurrection proved it. Till then, nobody believed him. His disciples never believed him. He looked like a very ordinary person, carpenter's son, having hardly 2 robes to wear, living in a very poor condition. What made him feel that he was the Son of God? His own knowledge about himself. Now supposing somebody is the Son of God, what should he do to prove it? To human beings who are just like walls. See, sometimes I find I am talking to walls. Absolutely. Or to some people who are looking this side, that side, and they are not understanding what I am talking. How are we to prove that he was the Son of God? It's an impossibility. And if he was born in modern times, he would have been crucified only when he was 5 years of age, I can tell you. Because now we are so ego-oriented. That time people were stupid. But now we think we are very intelligent. We know everything. We know God. We can organize Him. There are many who say that we don't believe in God. We have created this world. We are the scientists. We are this. Oh God. In this mad world, thank God He was not born. Otherwise, He would have been crucified much earlier. So, it is impossible to convince at that time that He was Son of God. But today we can prove it. Because at that time, human beings had not reached that stage that they could be given realization. Today, realization is working en masse. Even in England, we have now quite a lot of people. Even in England, I say, England itself is really a great country. It's the heart of the universe. It's the greatest country as far as the articulation is concerned, and the source of all that is good comes from this country. But the people, English people, have lost their self-esteem completely, I feel sometimes, the way they copy French and Americans and things like that. If they could have their self-esteem, I still say that English youth are the best in the whole world. Surprisingly, in my own experience, I found that they are the best, but rather difficult nuts to be cracked. If they are cracked, they are the best. And once they are there, they sort it out. Because they understand. They are very scholarly. I think by temperament that they understand when I say you cannot pay money for that. You cannot organize God. And something has to happen within you. Some actualization has to take place. This is what you should understand if you are really an Englishman. Because anything stupid and illogical should be shunned completely. Now, what is the transformation takes place that when this Kundalini rises? She passes through these different centers, which are already exhausted within us. For example, the second center that is within us, the second one is the center for our activity. Supposing you think too much, your brain cells are to be replaced. For this little center has to work very hard to replace those cells in your brain. It starts working with too hard and neglects all other duties it has to do. For example, it has to look after the liver, the spleen, the pancreas, the kidneys, and the uterus. But when people indiscriminately just go on thinking like mad, even thinking about God, what is it? It's like, as I told you, not coming to Newbury and just thinking about it. It's that mad. Then this center gets so tired and so tired. It's so exhausted that diseases like diabetes, liver, and other complications, even blood center of the spleen can be so crazy with this kind of activity that one can develop blood cancer. For example, now we are supposed to be running a rat race. We are supposed to be. We are in a race. Somehow everybody is in a race. Whether it is in the modern race or in the any other race, we have to belong to a cult or some sort of a group where everybody is running a race, you see. In that racing, we forget that the way we eat our food, when we rush about, we don't even give rest to our different organs as it is required to balance its activities. What happens? That a thing like spleen gets so upset, it's so upset that it does not know when to create more blood cells and when not to create. You are eating your food, suddenly a telephone call comes in, you are to the telephone. There's a little child crying, you're looking after the child. Now you have to go to the office, just leave the food halfway or whatever you have eaten, just rush out. You run to the bus is missing, so run to another bus. All this madness makes poor this spleen really mad because it does not understand what to do, how to supply the new blood cells. And the result is you develop blood cancer. It's a very simple reason why people develop blood cancer. And then blood cancer, we say, is curable through surgery. It is. Actually, cancer does not settle into people who are realized, but is absolutely curable through surgery. All kinds of cancers can be cured through surgery, no doubt. But we are not here to cure people. Only those who are seekers, the divine is interested. You will be surprised. A very rich man, I would say one of the wealthiest man from India, brought somebody to be cured. And I said, I'm sorry, sir, I cannot cure this person. And he said, why not? If you cure, I'll build a hospital for you, I can give an ashram. I said, you may do whatever you like. But I'm sorry, he cannot be cured. I did not tell him the reason for that. The reason is this. This man has exploited many people. He's tortured his wife, he's tortured his children. He's a horrible fellow. He has never sought anything good. He has no compassion, he has no love. He's for himself a very selfish and a tyrannical person. Tomorrow if Hitler comes and says, Mother, you give me realization. Do you think divine is supposed to give him realization because he thinks no end of himself? It is for the divine to decide for you. It is not for you to decide for the divine. The divine has to say that you are all right. It's just the other way now. Because you may do whatever you like. You may think that, oh, you must get all the blessings from God. But God has to know that whether He is going to be gracious on you or not. Even His anger is His graciousness. Because that's what you deserve, and through His anger and wrath, He is going to cure you and improve you. Sometimes we have wrong ideas also about our seeking. The seeking comes to us from the third center, which is in the navel. Navel, we call as Nabhi Chakra, is the navel point. But it's all in the spinal cord. Now this third center is the center which gives us seeking from the very beginning when we were amoeba. We started seeking food. Then as we became higher and higher and higher in our seeking of food, we became human beings. Then we started seeking money, position, power, fame. Then spiritual seeking came. We started seeking in religions outside us, organizing religions. calling God, devotion, dedication, but nothing worked out. So we started a deeper seeking, meditating. At this time also, people came down from all over the world to teach you meditation. Now meditation cannot be taught. It's a happening. When you are in meditation, you cannot go to meditation. It's not like a small little house or a temple or a building where you can enter into. It's a happening, you are pushed into it. You just become in meditation. And this happening takes place only when this Kundalini pierces this fontanelle bone area and you get an actual baptism. Actual, not artificial. You can see with your naked eyes the pulsation of this Kundalini, the rising of this Kundalini, and also the pulsation on the head here, till it stops. You start feeling the cool breeze coming in your head simultaneously. That should happen to you, otherwise don't believe in any tall stories, for which you cannot pay, for which you cannot think, for which you cannot organize. You cannot put in any effort. It has to happen spontaneously. So the question comes in how it happens. It's all in there. It's your own, within yourself. But say there's a light, say this is a candle, which has got a wick, which has got a wax, just ready to be enlightened. Then what do? You take one enlightened candle and bring it nearer to another, and you get the results. Finished. What do? The enlightened candle just acts as a catalytic agent and enlightens the another candle without any effort, without any trouble. In the same way, an enlightened person can enlighten another person. It's very simple. But the person has to be enlightened. And the enlightened person must know how to maintain your enlightenment for the time being. Like a seed you sprout. Now the children may sprout the seeds and they would not know what to do with it. But a gardener knows. It sprouts the seed, then it takes all the sapling separately, looks after it, allows it to grow, then again puts it in the soil properly, watches for its growth till it comes to its maturity. He looks after it. In the same way, the person who is enlightened should be able to guide you up to that point. Such a person is called as Guru in Sanskrit language. But he has to be a Guru who should be able to raise your Kundalini. Because these days if you say the name of Guru, when horrible names and horrible faces start coming before me. And they are not Gurus, they are just like satanic forces. They are horrible people. How can they be Guru? Those who live on your money, parasites of the worst type. You should see that. I mean, if I ask you, come and live with me for no money at all, will you accept such a situation? And these are even worse and much worse than any dog, I would say. Even the dog who eats food at your house at least looks after your house. This is only one-way traffic. You have to go on giving them money, becoming poorer and poorer. And what do you get? Nothing. You must see their lifestyle is absurd. They live on your money. They have all the weaknesses that a scoundrel can have. And after few years you find they land up in the prison. Already we have problems with the prison. So don't allow any one of these gurus to come down here. Where will you put them? Well, like in Switzerland I went and saw one gentleman there. He told me that there's a horrible guru who lives here. Mother, please come and just pay attention to his ashram. I said, all right. Went with him to the car, in his car, and I looked at the place, a huge lavish place he had created for himself, with very tall walls, like a big palace. And you could see from outside the amount of money this fellow must have gathered. And within 8 days, a nurse fell in love with a policeman. And this nurse was the private secretary of this guru, who had used that nurse to poison some oranges, to kill some people. And so the Guru the Great now is in jail for 14 years. All such horrid people, what have they got to do with divine? But they mesmerize. And once you are mesmerized, your seeking becomes absolutely stupid and foolish. You cannot see you are mesmerized. You cannot understand how you are mesmerized. You don't want anything for yourself. There's another one who was coming here the other day, and he said that if you give me a Rolls Royce, I'll come. Imagine. He was to come from America. He has already got 58 Rolls Royce from you people. From you. The English, very wise. I must say, the wisest people in the whole world have given 58 Rolls Royce to this 14-year-old fellow. Now he has become a Yankee in America. Taken away all your money, be fooling you. He has 58 Rolls Royce, he wants the 59. I don't know why he wants one more. Poor boys and girls, they don't have so much money now. Here the young people don't have much money. Like in our country, maybe rich people's children get a lot of money. But here I find young people have to find their own way. They starved themselves, ate only potatoes and fasted, did all kinds of things to save money to buy a Rolls Royce for this scoundrel. Just think of it. These are all seekers who did it. So foolish and stupid. And when he came, they presented him with this Rolls Royce. My heart really weeps. I really don't know what to say to this kind of a foolishness people are doing. Naturally, your parents do not believe in you. They think what stupidity you are doing. I can understand. Even if they doubt me, I wouldn't mind. Because really this kind of stupidity you have done. And how can you believe such a stupid fellow who asked for a Rolls Royce? You should have really given him a toy Rolls Royce and 3-4 slaps on the face and he would have gone back. That's what he deserves. Now he got this Rolls Royce very nicely. He treated you all and went back. And he'll come back next year and you will be again doing the same thing for him. Now, when somebody asked, some of the Sahaja-yogis went and asked these people that why did you do it? They said he has given us something so great. This is metal. If we give him the metal and if he gives us the spirit, why not do it? It's foolishness. Can you get spirit for giving some metal? Can you? Spirit, can you purchase it or could exchange it? But from where this kind of stupidity walks into your heads? I mean, you are not such stupid people. Most of them are educated, university, Oxford, Cambridge. Did you learn all this stupidity there? No. is some sort of a mesmerism, I feel. Some stupid spirits have entered into their minds. That's the only solution I can get. I cannot understand what is the reason for these people to go about buying Rolls Royces for their gurus. Then another guru comes up here and tells you, I will make you fly. Very big people are to fly. Why do you want to fly? Do you want to become birds? Have you to become birds now? You have to become a superior human being with superior value systems built within you. You want to fly. I mean, it is stupid. Even if somebody gives you ideas like that, better ask him to fly himself. Drop him from this leaning tower of Pisa and see where does he land. Which part? Why do you believe such stupid things? I can't understand. You are supposed to be English. I mean, at least Indians have great ideas about your brains. A.G. Wells has said that English will be one day having only heads and no bodies. But I don't think that's going to happen with the advent of all these stupid gurus coming here and you people passing out all your money to them. I don't know what is going to happen. As it is, we are suffering from so many other things. Plus this kind of a nonsense coming, all the spirits coming down, all this negativity working into us. I don't know what's going to happen to this country of ours. I don't know. I can't understand. Now everybody is meditating in this country, trying to fly. Imagine. Doing nothing, sitting at home, meditating, lethargy of the worst type, trying to fly. This is what it is. That's what has happened to our seeking in various ways. In this way or that way or that way. No, this is not to happen anymore. It's enough of it. You must get your realization. That's what you have to have. The Kundalini has to rise. You have to get it because you are seekers of ages, ancient times. You are born today here to get your realization. That's your right to have it and not to be befooled by these people who just come here and exploit you and have floated a market and enterprise. Now this Kundalini thing comes to you through that center when it comes to awakening center. That center of your seeking. Then you start seeing what you are seeking. You are seeking the joy of your spirit, the bliss of peace within yourself. When the Kundalini rises and shoots off, the seeking is complete because you have found it. You are just there. No questions. Supposing you enlighten the light, then what does the light do? First she is asking for light. All right, I must have the light, I must have the light. She gives light. Finish. Then you don't sit there, you sit here with me and you give vibrations to people. You raise their Kundalinis, you awaken them and give them realization. Yes, it happens. You all have those powers. In a split of a second you get that and you become that. That's your style. You are human beings. You are not worms. You are created out of the billions and billions of creatures, special ones, the chosen ones, to bestow this bliss upon you so that you enter into the kingdom of your Father, the God Almighty, and enjoy your being. That's what you are. Why are you wasting and frittering away your energy on these nonsensical people? Pay attention to yourself. Just find out what you are. It's a very easy thing. It should happen to you. It has happened to so many in this country. That should happen to people in Newberry. It is Kathy who has brought me here. Actually, and now I'm on my way to India, and you had decided not to go out of London because I've been really traveling too much in Europe. Of course, I must say Europeans are also very sensible people. They can see through now. But I think we have to go through all that. Otherwise, you would never have understood the value of Sahaja. Perhaps that was necessary for them to spend a lot of money on these gurus and to suffer from all kinds of diseases. There are some here sitting from there only, suffering from epilepsy, all kinds of horrible diseases like blood cancer. They are here, some of them sitting. Then you realize the value of Sahaja Yoga, which gives you bliss, joy, and happiness. First of all, it gives you the physical well-being. It just gives you the physical well-being. Like any place where God has to be brought in, you clean that place. So the Kundalini cleanses your physical being. That's how you get your diseases cured. Cancer is very simple, extremely simple to be cured. Very simple to be cured. But for doctors, it is impossible to accept that there is God in the real sense of the word. Now, they will have a photograph of Christ in the house. They might wear a cross, you see. That's at the most. But to believe that you can cure cancer through divine power is an impossibility. Now, we have some doctors also. But if they come to me, they think they are all mad. Cancer is a simple disease. Now they have reached a certain point where they are coming nearer to Sahaja Yoga. On the left-hand side and the right-hand side, we have certain areas. And now they are talking about these areas which exist within us. And they say there is an attack from these areas which are built within us from the time of our creation. And these areas have those deposits. And they send forth some protein matter which we cannot identify otherwise, which might have gone out of circulation of evolution. When they attack us, cancer is triggered. And now this I have said at least 10 years back. I've been saying that there are entities who enter into us meaning the central part, the middle part, the middle road, they come from the sides and attack us. But actually when we go to the extremes of the left or to the right, we ourselves become vulnerable and we are attacked, and that's how cancer is setting. So down below is the hell, the left side is the collective subconscious, the right side is the collective supraconscious, which is the future side of it. The top is the divine power, which is the super consciousness, we can call it, or the collective unconscious as they call it, which becomes conscious as soon as Kundalini touches it. Your attention goes there and the whole thing is lifted, just like a tent being lifted up, and you find that nothing can enter into your attention anymore. You are in that area where you cannot be attacked. And this is what has happened to many of you, and is going to happen to the rest of the people who have come here for the first time. I must say, Newbury, I must find out about it much more, because I find this place has tremendous vibration. Only when our car arrived here, I asked them, where is the water? Somewhere here. I was not dowsing, but I can feel the vibrations of the water somewhere. And the place has tremendous vibration. Actually, I was thinking, how am I going to speak? Because as soon as I reached this place, my whole body started emitting all kinds of energies from the body. I was really very much worried as to what's going to happen now. What am I going to speak? This has worked out, and I hope you have been able to understand it. Now, for the rest of the details, You just don't worry. We have all the books and everything for your information, which you can read later on. It's a simple thing, like coming in the room. You ask me how to put on the lights. I have to just tell you, just press the switch and it will be on. In the same way, everything is built within you. You don't have to do anything about it. It will work out in no time. But once it is worked out, then you try to understand it, what it is, and try to maintain it for a while, and you'll be amazed that here in New Delhi, you can start a center of your own, of Sahaja Yoga, giving realization to many people. May God bless. Thank you. If you have any questions, you can ask me.
Yeah, I've got a question.
Yes, please.
You know, earlier on you were going on about if you have family, children, and such that to interrupt you, and telephone. What were you trying to say, that you must ignore this?
Oh, not at all. If you are not married, you cannot get realization.
So what do you mean then by this? You know, I tend to think you're trying to say that you must try and ignore outside attractions and this and...
When did I say that?
I don't quite know. I mean, it's a good job to hear everything you say, but...
No. Who said that? Not at all. Why should he...
So what do you mean when you say the telephone rings?
What?
I mean, what do you mean you must suddenly stop and answer the telephone? But what do you mean?
Mother, it's when you were talking about spleen.
About what?
When you were talking about the spleen, you said that the trouble is that there are so many distractions that the spleen can't handle it. I think he's misunderstood.
Yeah, that's right.
No. You should only look after your child and not the telephone I was meaning. Hello? You must have your priorities properly built up. Ours are not. What I was trying to say, a child is lying there. You are eating your food. A telephone is coming. Now you have to rush out. The child is neglected. You run away. You are worried about the child. Never that. You don't know, in Sahaja Yoga, you have to be married. There's a center of marriage. You'll be amazed. If you are a so-called ascetic, I can't give you realization.
If I'm what?
You can't get your realization if you are an ascetic, so-called. Asceticism is within yourself. A person like Guru Nanaka and all these great people were all married people. It doesn't mean that you have to give up your family at all. On the contrary, we have to have families, beautiful families and beautiful children, and we are having Sahaja Yoga marriages. Do you know there are 3 or 4 couples here who were married through Sahaja? And they are beautiful people, they have beautiful children. And moreover, I must tell you a greater news, that there are lots of realized souls who are born in this country. And you have to be married so that they are born to you also. Now this child is a realized soul. She's sitting, knows me. To be sitting that quiet is not possible unless and until they are realized. This Alison is a born realized. Bumble is
They're
there.
not realizing they're sitting there quiet.
Who?
My children, my 3 children.
How
they're
do-
not being realized, so you're talking
How do you know? Let me see, where are they?
1, 2, 3.
They must be born realized, I am sure.
They're not.
How do you know? How do you know? We'll tell them. How do you know? You don't know. You are not yet realized, but they are. Must be, I am sure, 100%.
Well, and it seems that anything you say goes.
We'll teach you how to know. We'll teach you how to know. You should get your realized. Where are they? I would love to see them. Where I can't see them, they are big.
But they're quiet all the time. I say it's instinct.
Come now, come. Come. They must be born realized to be quiet like that. I would like to see them. I'm sure. How will you know their value? I would love to see them. Oh, that she is realized 100%. Are you doubting her realization? She's a born realized. She's born as a realized soul. She's a born realized, no doubt. I mean, I knew I was going to ask about her. How do you know? You are a great person to have 3 children born realized, I must say. For example, a little one there is a born realized, and a little one in that corner is a born realized, and there are many born realized people. Also, there are people who are there. Where is Alan? Is there? Is he?
It's just natural. It doesn't need a big word for it, does it?
They are born realized because they got their realization in previous lives. It is a very big thing for people who are not realized.
What they know about previous lives?
They find?
They don't know anything about previous lives.
That's what I'm going to tell them. That's why I'm here. They are born because I'm here. Do you know that? I am going to tell them what it is. See, these are all born realized. 2 people are coming. Ask them about it. I never gave them realization. They were born realized, but I gave them the knowledge about what they are. Sit down, my child. Sit down. They are all realized souls, no doubt about it. Not realized souls, but they could be very great souls born on this earth. It is not they are quiet because they are told to be. If they were not realized souls, they would have run away. They would not have been sitting because they are enjoying it. Their spirit is enjoying it. You will know it very soon.
They would sit quietly anywhere.
No, they might, because they are realized souls.
No, they doesn't mean they're realized souls, it means they're children.
There are very different types of children. Very different types, something so unique. Once you get your realization, you start seeing their beauty much better. Oh, they know such a lot you can't. My 4 grandchildren are born realized, but my own daughters were not. What am I to do? And 4 of them are great people, but my own daughters were not. What to do? They are born realized. You will see that. They are that. You should be proud man. But you better get your realization. Alright? I'm happy you are so concerned about your children. I'm very happy. May God bless you. Any other questions? Yeah. Little loudly.
I was very interested in what you said about Christ having done the thinking for us, and we ourselves trying to think too much. Isn't there a danger if we all become childlike trusters that we could be exploited?
Yes, it is a danger, of course. I mean, you are already exploited. 100%, there is a danger. No doubt, I've already told you about the danger. But to become childlike is not easy. You can be befooled, but to be childlike is the best thing. Innocence is the most powerful thing. If you are innocent, nobody can touch you. But very difficult to be innocent. The center of innocence has to be awakened within us. Then you will be like children. Now, would you say that Christ was exploited? Many people feel that way, that he was exploited. No, it was all planned very well. He just played a drama. Such people do not suffer. I do not suffer, never. Even if I say that I'm suffering, it's just a joke. Never take that seriously. It's a drama. Such people don't suffer. He never suffered in the sense you understand suffering. Of course, with a physical body, you do feel little pain here and there. But you just see it as a witness. You do not really are in it. And when you become that, yourself a witness, nobody can exploit you. Because what happens? You develop a new type of a dimension and awareness, which is called as vibratory awareness. By this enlightenment of your fingers, you become collectively conscious. Immediately you know who is who, what is what. Children know it. Those who are realized souls especially know it. Any funny man comes in, they start crying and weeping. Like this girl's father and mother were involved in a nonsense. They are here now. Both suffered a lot. The mother became epileptic and all that. And this child used to scream whenever she saw their revered guru. And she used to shout. And she used to resist. And she used to kick him. She's just a child, but she knew how to protect. And these people with all their intelligence and education and this and that were absolutely useless. Because you develop that new awareness within you by which you can feel a person. You know you cannot be exploited. Alright? That has to happen to you. That's a happening. Such a powerful personality develops. Such a powerful personality. That way, many of our Sahaja Yogis also think that I'm quite an innocent person. I mean, they think so. But now they know I know everything. I may look such a fool, but I'm not. And the powerfulness is such that first the compassion. The compassion itself is so powerful, so engulfing, so rewarding. And you are not bothered about anyone. What are they going to do? Like in India, when I started, you see, right and left criticizing all these gurus, taking their names, I started saying, no, these people are like that, these people are, they are making money and befooling you. Some of the gurus, you see people who were Sahaja Yogis, one of them was some Raja of some place, he came to me and said, Mother, what are you doing? They will kill you. I said, this time let them try killing me. Who is going to kill me? I'll see. That was done once for all. Now let me see who is going to kill me. I said, let them lift their hands towards me. If they can, they'll shake. They cannot kill me. It's the most powerful thing is your innocence, which we have lost sometimes foolishly. It's the highest thing. And nobody can exploit an innocent person. Nobody can be fooled. You have seen simple village folk. How do they exist? With all the cunning of the very well educated and sophisticated people, how do they exist? They can manage them just like this. And you must see the intentions of the person. Why a person should exploit? What is the need of the person? People don't even see the credibility of a personality who comes here. It's very surprising. Like one guru came here, I would say, it's something, another foolishness, who was living in a tin shell. That's what Peter told me, in South Africa. And thousands of people are his disciples. To such an extent you will be surprised. People, I mean, I don't know what to say. This is complete blindness. I went to Norwich, so far away. This fellow had come to London only. And I met 3 elderly ladies who were his disciples. And this gentleman was later on found to be having whiskey every night and using women, and he had all kinds of things, and his private secretary herself disclosed everything about him. And then they found it out and they verified it. But these 3 foolish women still said, whatever it is, Mother, we cannot give him up. We love him. Now what to do to such stupid women? You just tell. I mean, it is question of you also wanting to get exploited. I mean, a thing is exposed, everybody knows about it. This gentleman about whom I told you, who was asking for a Rolls Royce, was caught for smuggling 300 watches in India. I mean, how can a man like that be interested in smuggling? Just think of that. But all these people who carried those watches went to the police and said, we brought it for ourselves. 300 watches this fellow was carrying. And they would not give. And when he went to jail, they put a big show, and Indian government did not know what to do. So they said, all right, you take him away. We don't want to keep him in the jail. That otherwise your government will come and say that why our 300 Britishers are arrested. Imagine. So they sent all the bad lock, stock and barrel back. So he came back here, from here he has gone to America. Now if you don't want to see, I mean, isn't it so clear cut what I said? So clear cut. If you don't want to see it, what can you do? I mean, I tell you, sometimes I feel it is the people who want to get exploited, or they don't want to see it. Now I would like one of them to speak to you, would be a good idea, because you will know how he was caught and how he was disillusioned. Peter, is he there? Just tell him. So you will know how he was befooled. He was supposed to be a great, he was a great diamond merchant from South Africa, married a granddaughter of a duke of your country. The granddaughter is also here. And Peter, where is he? Peter, I would like you to tell them about what happened with you and how you got exploited. That would be a better idea. You have it from your own ethnicity. Just tell them.